to a recall affecting millions of people with sleep apnea. Philips Respironics recalling CPAP machines because the company says using them could result in serious, even life-threatening injuries. But getting a replacement for the life-saving devices could take months. Tonight, we're on your side investigating alternatives that could help you.
Driving back over the Buckman Bridge, and I fell asleep at the wheel.
Emma Cooksey is one of millions of Americans diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea. The St. Johns County mom was diagnosed at the age of 30 after she fell asleep at the wheel while driving over the Buckman Bridge with her baby in the back seat.
I was just really struggling to keep my eyes open. I narrowly avoided a really serious collision with a large truck in front of me.
She got the diagnosis following a sleep study.
This is the mask that I wear at night.
A doctor prescribed her a CPAP machine, a device she wears at night to keep her airway open so she doesn't stop breathing.
Those are the kind of experiences you feel so lucky to have come out the other side of. I felt really alone and isolated in having sleep apnea. I didn't know anyone else with sleep apnea. And I thought I could start a podcast. Maybe there's some other people out there with sleep apnea like me.
Welcome to the Sleep Apnea Stories podcast.
She launched the podcast Sleep Apnea Stories in 2020 during the pandemic. While her CPAP machine is not included in the Philips Respironics recall, she has heard from people all around the world wondering what they should do. Philips recalled millions of its breathing machines due to concerns that the noise dampening foam could break down and be ingested or inhaled, and could off-gas potentially toxic chemicals. Philips advised users to talk to their doctor.
So some people were told to stop using their machine completely, but that left their sleep apnea untreated. Untreated sleep apnea is really dangerous. It's not just that people can fall asleep at the wheel like I did, it's also you have an increased risk of heart attack and stroke. So a lot of people were really worried, understandably, of just waiting for a replacement machine.
It could take months before Philips repairs or replaces all of the recalled devices. And the recall has led to a shortage of CPAP machines available to buy. But Dr. Peter Nassar, who runs the Jacksonville Sleep Center, says there are alternatives for some patients. First, lose weight. He says 80% of people at their ideal body weight won't have sleep apnea.
If it's mild, sure, weight loss would be an excellent alternative. You don't have related health conditions, you feel functional and you're fine. Work on losing the weight, that's an acceptable pathway.
Second, consider a travel CPAP device.
It's just as effective as a regular CPAP device, so for folks considering a travel device anyway, this might be a good strategy until their recalled device is replaced.
Third, if you have mild to moderate sleep apnea, an oral appliance could be a good alternative for you.
The way this device works is it holds your lower jaw or your mandible forward, and it increases the space in your airway and treats the sleep apnea.
Fourth is this small device that is implanted. Think of it like a pacemaker for the airway. It's for people with moderate to severe sleep apnea who are not helped by a CPAP machine.
When you go to bed at night, you turn it on with a remote control, and every time you breathe in, the device senses your inspiration, sends the pulse to your tongue, and the tongue protrudes forward slightly and opens the airway and treats the sleep apnea.
And finally, ask your doctor if you're a good candidate for a positional device to help you sleep on your side.
Often on your side, your sleep apnea is not as bad as on your back. And it's simply a little bubble, and it goes around your waist, and you place this on your back side. And if you try and roll onto your back, obviously you'll feel that, and you won't sleep on your back.
The bottom line, there are several alternatives, but see your doctor to find out the best option for you. And know that you're not alone.
I think that the best thing is just get some support and find some other people with sleep apnea, because I think that really helps.
And you can read more about these alternatives and see our in-depth report on the CPAP recall in this story right now on firstcoastnews.com.